What's up, scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I'm keen beans to show you today's video. Cricut reached out and asked if I would like to try their Cricut Maker to make some projects on both this channel and my other YouTube channel, and I leapt at the opportunity to do so because cutting machines is something that I've always been interested in, but a little bit nervous because you all know my history with technological things like printers and breaking them, and I was a little bit apprehensive to try this out. But let me tell you, this Cricut machine is so simple to use. I was able to create 2 projects for you today, and I'll also be dabbling in some other things in March over on my channels. And it was able to cut a range of different materials, which I'll show you in a moment here. So I wanted to show you a bit of an unboxing because I do love a little unboxing to see what's included. The thing that I really appreciated is that they've included these really simple instructions. So there is no way to possibly get lost in setting up your Cricut for the first time. I also should prerequisite this video with the fact that I am a complete novice. I have never seen one of these in action. I've never used one, and so you're really getting the beginner experience from myself today. So I hope that if you are a fellow beginner, that this gives you some inspiration that if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's really simple to use. So included in the box are some instructions. There's also this very handy dandy booklet that goes through everything you could possibly need to know. It goes through all of the design space aspects, all of the tools that you can have, the different mats, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then at the back it has these quick reference pages, which I really do appreciate because a lot of the time you just want to be able to troubleshoot your problem nice and quickly, and the answer's right there. There's also a blade, as well as a cable and a couple of other little bits and bobs included here. If you are a Cricut user already, the project does start at the 5-minute mark, but I wanted to show you the things that they sent me, so just to give you a bit of an idea as to what I was starting off with. And I'm so excited to show you how this project worked out. This will be an ongoing thing because in this first video we are creating a journal cover, and we're creating all of the pages inside the journal, and then later on in some future videos, probably in March, April, I will be art journaling on all of these pages, so that will be good fun. The thing that I really appreciated most about using this Cricut for the first time is that a novice like myself, you could not get lost in the software, and I really appreciated that each step flowed on from one to the other, which you'll see in a little moment when we start cutting all of the things. Oh, happy dance, whoop whoop. And there was just no way to get mixed up with what blade you needed, what material you were cutting. There's hundreds of materials that you can cut quickly and accurately, and it was just so easy. I can't emphasize how easy it was, so that was fun. I've got a few different goodies that they sent me on top of the Maker machine. So these are additional items that you can purchase. And I should add that the machine's available at shops like Harvey Norman, Spotlight, Big W, JB Hi-Fi, Costco for all of my Aussie peeps. I got a range of faux leathers to try out, as well as some of the vinyls, both the permanent and the temporary ones, which we're going to try out in a different video. I also got the little tool kit, which I didn't realize until Aaron was helping me out with some of the bits. But the little flap that folds down from the front of the Cricut, where you put your mat in, which you'll see in a little moment, it has a little compartment that you can store all of the tools in. And I just thought that was a really nifty added bit that they didn't have to put in the machine, but it just makes life so much easier for the person who's actually using it to not lose things. Because let's be honest, I don't know about your craft space, but sometimes things like to take a walk and disappear. And so I like that the spatula and all of the little scrapey tools can be stored with the machine. So here's a little overview. We've got a few different mats to try out. There's the basic tool set that I was just talking about. And let's get making all of the things. Yay! Alright. Alrighty, let's jump into it. So the first thing that I'm doing is using the software. I simply dragged some hearts and stars of different shapes and sizes into the little canvas that they had there, and I am cutting them out of the faux leather. So once those were done, I put them to the side and I got my paint out, and it was time to just play with paint. I really feel like with this project and the other one that I did over on Let's Get Inky, if you haven't watched that, make sure you go watch it today too. I just wanted to play with a whole lot of color and just kind of have a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of freedom and relaxation in my paint plonking, because we all know I do love a stick and plonk when it comes to stickers and things, but I also love a good plonk of paint on the page, and it just makes me feel happy. It's a great way to get out if you're in a creative rut, or if you feel like creating something but you don't know what. I love to do this kind of pattern where you just pick a whole bunch of colors. I usually go for probably 4 or 5 complementary colors, so colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, and then a couple of surprise pops from across the other side of the color wheel. If you would be interested in more color wheelie, color theory type things, because it's something that I'm very in love with and I have been in love with since I was a little girl, let me know, because I can do some more things on colors and how they work together, and which colors are friends and which colors aren't quite friends unless they have a bit of an assistance with an extra color included. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. So I'm just going through with a kind of wide round brush, and I'm just plonking my colors, overlapping them. Some of these paints are quite transparent and others are a bit more opaque, so there's a lot of interesting effects coming through. I've sped this up obviously very, very fast because it did take a little while to do all of the paint, and then I dried it off camera. But to make these splats, I'm just watering down some of the paints, and all of the paints that I'm using are cheapies from my local $2 shop. So they're all in the kids art and craft section. I think the most I probably, except for the Liquitex one, which is the aquarry color, the rest of them I probably paid no more than $2 to $3 per tube. So you can have fun with budget supplies, and it's all just about, for me, it's all just about how you mix the colors and how you make them work together. I'm just using the leftover paint in my Use It Up journal, and guess what, peeps? That was the final page. I'm very excited to show you a flip through of that very soon. So here's a bit of a closer look at the software, and I've got the exact same document that I used last time. I'm going through, and if you would like a more step-by-step screen recording of a Cricut project, please let me know. But it is so easy to use, and you just literally go through and you pick whatever material that you're cutting. The Cricut can cut hundreds of different materials quickly and accurately, and I was just really surprised about how easy the software was to use because, like I said in the other video that's going up today on Let's Get Inky, I am not tech savvy. Unlike my husband, Inky Beard, he just naturally knows what buttons could do what possible things, and I do not. Whereas with the Cricut software in the designer space, I didn't need to guess. It was just all very clear and simple to use, which was nice. So here I've got my handy dandy tiny attacher stapler, and I am layering the different shapes on top of each other. And originally I started off with just a triple cluster, I guess you could call it. So I would have either the leather at the back, and then the leather or the painted paper at the back, and then the alternate leather or paint paper as the middle layer, and then the gold at the front. But then I decided to change things up a little bit, and I did what I like to call the deluxe embellishment cluster, and I did a bit of double layering at the back. You'll see in a moment. So I've sped this bit up quite a little bit because it was the same over and over again, just looking at what I've got, and the painted shapes that had more of the blues and the greens tones, blue and green tones, not greens. I went for the green faux leather. I just thought it coordinated better. and then I used that browny goldy colour for some of the other ones. And I really think that the faux leather from Cricut really was just a nice contrast to the bright busyness of that painted paper. It really just matched it really well. These would be perfect embellishments to include on a greeting card. You could also, I plan on using them in my scrapbook pages and in my project life. And they're really, really fun to make. I can't emphasize how much I'm obsessed with DIY embellishments, have been for many, many years. And I often think that sometimes I like the process of making DIY embellishments even more than scrapbooking. It depends on what creative mode I'm in, but yeah, I just find them so satisfying because you only have to do a couple of steps and you've got this sweet little thing that you can use to make your actual scrapbooking process quicker and more efficient. And by using the Cricut and just repeat cutting the same shapes over and over again in just different sizes, it made it so simple to do. So now I've grabbed some little Inkie printables, and I'm just sticking some of the tiny word strips on top of these to cover up the staple, and just to give them a bit of an extra little fancy thing there. Oh, my glue lid just seemed to roll in from nowhere just then. Did you people see that in the bottom corner? Mystery. And I'm just going through, these are part of my January printables over on Patreon, and they're, when I print them 2 copies per page, they were the perfect size to add to my little embellishments. And I don't know about you peeps, but I find stapling things incredibly satisfying as opposed to waiting around for glue to dry. And so it was a nice way to just cover up that staple. You didn't have to cover up the staple, of course. It can be a design feature, but it's also just a really nice way to give them a little bit of extra something. So I'm going through and I'm adding a range of different ones. They're all, very easy to use phrases that I'd be able to use and pick up in pretty much any week of my project life, which is what I kind of aim for when I'm making DIY embellishments, because I have made some in the past that are rather specific and it is hard to use them. I will keep these in a little bowl on my desk, and so, I might include them in my next couch scrapping kit. And I also have another idea for these little DIY embellishments that you might see in a few months' time. We'll see if I can get that project up and rolling. Who knows? But here's a little look. I'll give you a little close-up at some of my faves. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have a Cricut, what you'd like to make with yours, and if there's any specific projects that you'd like to see either on this channel or my Let's Get Inky channel over the next few months, because I'll be dabbling in it again, and you will probably see it in a lot of videos to come over the next year, because the ease of it just makes me want to become very, very obsessed. So prepare for the cut files, peeps. I just want to say a big thank you again to Cricut for reaching out to me and collabing on this video. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more DIY embellishments, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!